Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to talk about a new Divo knives set of prototypes that came in. These are the Lush V2 prototypes from Riot knives. So this is our first foray into using Riot knives, and we're really excited about it. We're hoping we can offer extremely high quality knives and still keep the cost affordable. We're shooting for sub $300 prices, hopefully even lower, with Riot builds. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. But we got the first prototypes. This is our collaboration with Traditional Pocket Knives. So shout out to Austin and Brian over there. Great team of guys. And big shout out to Mark over at New Breed EDC. Mark Perez, he helped us and did the CAD file for us off of the original. We kind of used the knife as a platform because Concept didn't want to give us the CAD file. Every other OEM, whenever we asked for a CAD file, they just give it to us, but Concept said that's their policy. They just don't give out CAD files. And I think they did help change the file a little bit. I can't remember if we sent them a file and then they took it from there, or if they just took our really detailed Illustrator files. I'm not sure. But it is what it is. So we had to use, and we didn't ask for the file so that we could go to Riot. This was like a year ago when we decided to just get all of our CAD files, if possible, from the OEMs. Because once they go into production, the files are way different than when you send them to them. They change shit. And anyway, so this is the original Lush. I guess we'll call it the V1. And we wanted to make some changes on it and use Riot. And a few of the reasons for why, because I know some of you are going to ask, this is a great knife. Why do you want to change OEMs? So it's a fair question. Concept would not do a captive style pivot. They would only do this spinning barrel thing, which is fine. I actually don't mind it, and I actually like when Riot does it. So that's not the end of the world, but there are knives where we want to have captive, and it'd be nice to have that option, right? They would only do T6s on the inlays and the frame screws. Now, the frame screws underneath these inlays on the Riot version, they are also T6. So don't really have a problem with the body screws underneath because you can't see them. Most people aren't going to mess with them. And their tooling is exceptional. Your bit just gets stuck in them. Concept's T6s are very good as well. But having T6s on the outside would have been nice, I think. We wanted a milled clip. We could have done that with Concept. That wasn't an issue. It was just one of the things we wanted to upgrade. We also could not get belt satin finishes or DLC from Concept. They don't do those types of finishes. They do PVD. They do machine satin. We asked for hand satin. We couldn't get that. So there was some finishes and things that we wanted that we weren't able to get. And, you know, these knives came out great. They were affordable at $199 and S90V. So, you know, not complaining about Concept, but I just want to give you the reasoning as to why we wanted to kind of bump it up a notch. So that's kind of the idea there. So let's talk about the Riot build, huh? Shall we? First off, we wanted that milled pocket clip. So we have a titanium milled, blind screwed pocket clip, internally mounted, I should say. Pocket clip there. You'll notice there is no filler tab on this side, and that is because Riot will do small batches of lefties for us. So when we have the Lush V2 made, we will offer it in Lefty versions as well. So we don't have to worry about a reversible clip. That's always nice. I do like a clean show side, but I will always opt for a reversible clip and take that hit if it means not having a lefty option. But since we can do full lefties like we can with the best tech knives, we are obviously going to do that, and then we can keep it clean. We also wanted to be able to offer different blade finishes. So we have options in belt satin, like this. So you have a beautiful Riot belt satin. This is Van X Super Clean. So again, we're shooting for Van X Super Clean, titanium, camo carbon, micarta, different inlays. And our price goal is sub 300. Honestly, I would love to hit 250, but we got to see where we end up. So we want to bring you an affordable option made by the best. And I think Riot is the best. These inlays are absolutely stupid. You can't even tell that they're inlays. It's ridiculous how good they are. Concept did a good job, for sure. But I can catch a corner here and there. They're one of the better ones when it comes to inlays. But Riot obviously just is on another level. Both of these are bead blasted, you can tell. A little bit different, you know, but very similar design, of course. Now, the Riot ones have these pivots that are kind of popping out a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that. I didn't realize that was happening. I like the pivots that have like a little divot in them. But I would like it to be flush. You guys let me know your opinion on that. I don't hate it, but I expected it to be flush. So that was just a communication error, or, you know, we're not going to catch everything on their files that's wrong. Because we send our CAD file, again, shout out to LeftyEDC for the help, and then they change it to work with their machines, right? Now, one of the other big things that Riot did on here is, for some reason, they got rid of our steel insert, and we have titanium lockup. I'm not sure why that was. You know, I've had plenty of knives from Riot that are no insert, carbidized lock face, like the Maverick S, and most importantly, I think the F5.5 is one of the, you know, most produced Riot knives probably, and that does not have a steel insert, but it's a liner lock, but still no difference. So they can do it. If I was going to trust anybody to deliver a knife with no steel insert, it would be Riot. But that being said, we designed it with a steel insert. The one we designed had a internally mounted steel insert, and that is what I would like, an internally mounted one, because it kept this side clean. And this has the hole for the detent ball, so it kind of defeats the purpose. You might as well have a screw hole there and put a T6 or T8. So if they can just do it the way we wanted it, great. We may have to lengthen the exposed lock bar a little bit, maybe, so they can fit whatever it is in there. Or we might need to have a T8 sitting on the outside here. I'd rather that than this, to be honest. But let me know your opinions below. Are you a steel insert guy, or would you be okay without it? I'm pretty adamant that it's going to have it, but I just wanted to throw it out there. So we also have a DLC blade with belt satin finish. So I wanted to see how they did with this. We also have Kubi working on this type of finish. And I did test it. I filmed a little video for someone yesterday. But basically, you can see here, I have a bit driver. Scratch the shit out of it. Oh no, I've scratched my blade. What will I do? Let me get some alcohol and just clean my blade up. Let's see what happens. Did I ruin this blade forever and ever and ever and ever? I got some tape on there or something. Boom. Nothing. DLC, baby, with a belt satin finish. And then the handles are PVD. We did that because of cost. It gets expensive when you DLC everything. And I feel like most of you guys are okay with that. You just want a DLC blade so you can beat it up. And it looks cool, right? I don't know what that is. It was not there when I got it. So it's definitely not something they did. Something I did. I'll look at that. I did notice one issue with the DLC. There seems to be like one little white spot right there that either didn't get the coating or just I don't know. I'm pretty sure they do the belt satin and then the DLC goes over top, so it's not from the grind. But maybe there was just something under there, a speck of dust when they did it, and that got stuck. So obviously yours should be perfect, but just want to point that out. Yeah, I'm really happy with these. The action is fantastic. This one I took apart and I put skiffs in. I will show you that process because it is a little bit different due to the way we designed the knife. But you will notice the flipper tab has changed a little bit. So I kind of want to go even further and make it like the binge where it's up like this. Let me know your feedback in the comments. That would be super helpful. Or maybe you just like it the way we updated it. We basically just made this a little bit higher up so that when you do the top flip, it's a little bit easier. This one's not hard. But basically, we have to tune the detent to be a little bit softer in order to make this usable, right? Well, I wanted to be able to have a nice reverse flick without worrying about the detent. So we wanted to update that flipper tab a little bit. You can still come up in front of it and flick it, like a front flip, if you want. Or you can just come up here and do it and roll over the top. It basically just makes the original better. Then you can grab it here and rip it. It's really, really comfortable. And then you have the reverse flick. I do want to make this fuller, either slightly deeper to make it, or make it a little sharper, or make it a little taller like this one, because then you can get more meat in there. It works really good the way it is. But I think it could be improved. So in production, we'll probably do that as well. I'm not positive yet. I haven't heard back from Riot if we can get new prototypes with the insert. I kind of want to get new ones, but we'll see. What else? Trying to think what else I wanted to talk about. Oh, so we did the DLC belt satin. We did hand satins. So you have a beautiful hand satin on Van-X. How cool is that? This is Black Pearl Camo Carbon. We did a lot of PVD handles on the Protos. I don't know why. And we did order one with Dark Blast, I think Natural Canvas Micarta, and then like, I don't know, Bronze Accents or something. But that one, they had to scrap the prototype because they said they had blade play and they couldn't get rid of it and it was not up to their standards. And I really appreciate that. So they credited us for that prototype and everything. It was really nice. So this one is one of my favorites. I am not a big micarta guy, as you guys may know, but Riot's micarta. They use Ultrex, which is a USA-made micarta. So the steel on here is Austrian, Böhler, Udahome, Vanex, I'm pretty sure. And then the inlays are American. We order this from Camo Carbon, or this comes from Ultrex. So I always like to have a little bit of America or Europe on the knife, for whatever reason. But we did acid wash. So I'm pretty sure this is a dark wash on the, I don't think it's a dark blast. It looks washed. Yeah, dark wash. So basically acid etched and then stone washed titanium. And then the blade is acid etched. Look at that. That's freaking beautiful, dude. Denim micarta. This is blue denim Ultrex, which is really cool. Feels amazing. Again, perfect inlay and everything. Action is butter. And of course, in Riot fashion, they come apart and go together, and they just work. And I love that about them. So this is basically the same one as the one we have here with the belt satin DLC, except we have a hand satin. And this one is kind of a nod, if you will, a nod to Sharp by Design. Shout out to Sharp by Design. I absolutely love the Mini Tempest. And I think Caviso did a version like with this finish. So I thought of that when we were picking prototypes, and wanted to see what it looked like, and it looks sick. So you have 80s camo, hand satin Vanex. Let me know what you guys think about the plunge grind on these. You can see it there pretty good. So I think there's plenty of space there. I don't know if we should ask them to bring it back at all. It does look like it comes out to like here, like where that shadow ends, maybe is where it ends. Or maybe out here, I'm not sure. Can you tell underneath? Here, I'll zoom in for those of you who are experts, because I am not. It looks like you have plenty of room. We obviously want space there for the choil, because that feels fantastic, by the way. Ergos are wonderful. Vox jumping up here. Shout out to Jesper Voxnes. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you like this? Do you like the V2? I'm really excited about it. I've been wanting to work with Riot for a long time, but we just never wanted to wait 18 months. And now, I should mention that, now they've said these prototypes were made in 3 months, 3 or 4 months. And they're saying their production runs are about the same, 4 months. So, and they're way cheaper than Best Tech. I love Best Tech. They've made some amazing knives for us. But we have to charge $375 for this knife. And it has the same materials as this. Vanex, titanium, camo carbon inlay. That is priced with a pouch and shit, but you guys don't care about the pouch. We'll give you a nice box with a cool design on it, and I'm sure you guys will be happy with that. And we'll be able to do it under $300. So I feel like Best Tech has definitely started to match the quality of Riot. I wouldn't necessarily say they have the consistency. There's, occasionally you get some detent lash or play, but they're damn close to Riot level at this point on their premium stuff. But you're paying for it. It's an extra, you're going to pay an extra $100 essentially. Because, like I said, we're trying to keep this under 300, 275 sounds, definitely doable. And that's $375 because of how expensive it is to have it made by Best Tech. And they do great work, and their communication is amazing. So Best Tech's awesome, and you should work with them if you do. You should work with them if you want to. And I don't want to dissuade anybody from that. I just want to give you my experience. That's what I do, right? I'm too transparent. basically. So then we have one in Purple Flow, camo carbon with bead blasted frame and belt satin. Pretty classic version here. So basically we wanted to update the Lush and pimp it out a little more, bring that quality up for you. And yeah, it's going to come along with a little bit of a price jump, but we, as usual, we're doing our best to minimize that as much as we can. But we do want to just have one that's a little bit more higher quality. So hopefully you guys understand that. Those are the 5 versions I have prototypes of. Again, there was a 6th one in micarta and brass, and it was going to be cool. So you might see that one in production. If we get another set of prototypes, I'd probably just get 1 or 2 to make sure the insert works and everything. We got 6 so we could see the different finishes and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Obviously, I want to know if you're interested. I want to know if there's different versions you would want. I want to know any feedback you have, criticisms. Of course, we want that. Again, my own criticisms. The pivot, I want flush. I obviously want the steel insert. I want the clip to be a little bit softer in and out of pocket. It works well, but it does grab a little bit on the way out, kind of pops over. And I don't know why we just can't get that right the first time, but we need to elongate this or round it underneath to just make it a little softer. So we will obviously do that. And I'm sort of torn on the flipper tab. I think Austin and Colin like it like this. And I just love this flipper tab so much on the binge because I can roll it back. I can top flip it, front flip it, and I can reach around it so easy. And this one, you can reach around easy, top flip it, not quite as snappy as this one is because it's got that leverage to just wha-cha. And they have similar handle design, so they should work. But on this one, you can't, the rollback is tough. I mean, I can do it, but it's just a little bit tougher. And if you get one like this one has a strong detent. I can't even do it. But you do gain the more lower profile. You gain maybe a little bit better aesthetic on the tab. And you gain this little front flipper at the front. Although you can do the top flip, which is very similar. So personally, I would trade that for the higher flipper tab. But I want to hear your thoughts because right now I'm getting outnumbered. And if you guys sound off in the comments and you say, we agree with Kev, then maybe we'll change it. But I want your honest opinion. So maybe my opinion is wrong. And obviously it's all preference. And I do love this. I've really come to enjoy it carrying these the last couple of days. So there's no issue either way. It's not going to be a problem. I just want to hear preferences. So those are probably the changes that I would like to do. Maybe the plunge grind if you guys think it should be, but I think it's good. And then the fuller. So that's one other thing I wanted to show you. Where is my after hours? So here's the Jack Wolf Knives After Hours Jack. This is dropping on Friday, the 17th. And this would be a good knife to get you through while you wait for this one. They are similar. Both were released independently. I don't want to hear any of this copy shit. We actually launched them like at the same exact time, which is kind of interesting. But this fuller is, it looks like it's a little deeper. So it looks very similar in length and width. Or sorry, width is what I mean. But maybe it's deeper, because this one, man, it really bites on you. This one is a little less bitey. It still works fine, and this D10 is definitely stronger. But I don't get as good of a grip on it, I feel like. And then this one is obviously wider, taller. And I feel like I do get a good grip on that. D10 again, maybe a little lighter. Yeah, so I don't know. Thoughts on that? That was another thing Colin, Austin, and I were talking about, whether to leave this the same, just make it deeper and sharper, or to make it taller like the original Lush, which maybe that would be a good idea, because then that's kind of what we've done before, and it would separate us a little bit from this. But I do like the slimmer one, personally, and I just like to make it more aggressive to grab your finger. But again, it works perfectly as is anyway. But let me know what you guys think, and then I guess I should quickly take one apart. So I'm going to send this one to Austin at TPK, and this one's going to Colin at Divo Knives, obviously. So I don't want to take those apart. I've already taken this one apart. This one I put skiffs in, and I glued, because it's the one that I've decided is my personal one. So can't take that one apart again, or I don't want to. So that leaves this one, which feels great already. And this one, which I've already taken apart just to see the inside. So let's take this one apart again. I don't think I did anything with the pivot. Well, I'm going to make sure in a second. Yep, I didn't do anything. So here's what you want to do. And I'll probably make another video when these release. But you do not want to remove the pivot first. So we have a captive system. I'll show you. Sorry, it's a D-shaped captive pivot. Just on the end of the barrel is the D shape, not the full barrel. And then it pops into the scale there. Right? Normally, on a knife like this, you would remove this screw, just like that. Then you would remove the body screws, and boop, Bob's your uncle, you're inside. Easy, right? Well, we have a clip that is mounted on the inside. So if I take this out, it doesn't help me. We also have inlays, so you can't just take body screws out. So what you have to do is this. You take off these two. These are T8s. So take that one out and take this one out. Right? Get those out of there. Then you need to remove this inlay, which at first was a little hard, but I've done 2 of them now, and you just got to push up here and kind of slide it out. All right? So there's your inlay. This is camo carbon, purple flow. Again, all the versions are subject to change. Give us your opinions in the comments. We always appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to grab a T6 now for these guys. And the reason they use T6 is because they say structurally a T8 would be difficult. But you can see they're very well-tooled T6s. I mean, I've gotten my driver stuck on these before where I can't even get it out. Of course, it's not doing that right now, but whatever. Anyway, so you take those 2 out, then come over here, take your pivot out. Don't do your pivot first because it makes it a little bit difficult. It just, everything kind of wants to come apart. So take your pivot out, and now go ahead and pop it off. Simple. So the construction of the knife is pretty straightforward, but I'll show you. We have a marking in here. Divo knives, OEM by Riot. We try to do that when we can. Our Kubi ones don't have it, but our Best Tech ones do, and I think our Concept. I think maybe the Lush has that too, somewhere in there. But I could be wrong. Anyway, we like to put a marking in there to be transparent so you guys know who made your knife. Just, something we like to do. Here's your blade. Again, Vanex, super clean. In production, they should have Vanex down here. I don't know if we just forgot that or they did. But that should be on there. You have your pivot. Again, D shape on the end here. And then here's your lock bar. Again, it will most likely be a steel insert on the production version. But this one is titanium and it's carbonized. They do a great job with it. I really don't have any complaints, but it's just a personal preference thing. So in order to get this scale off or get your back spacer out, you have to remove the clip. Oh, this is another change I wanted to show you. So T8 on this. Just remove that. And your clip will come out. It is mounted inside of a milled pocket. However, I noticed without the screw, I can wiggle it. And with the screw, it doesn't wiggle. I'll show you. Tighten it down. It doesn't wiggle, but you can see there, I can push it. I can feel it slightly move, and you kind of have to make sure it's cranked down. So, an easy fix to that is to just add a pin. So we're just going to add a pin here, probably on the bottom of the clip, and a hole here, and that'll slot in, and that'll lock it in. An example would be, this is our newest model. Our next release will be the Chaser. It's the Divo Knives Chaser. This is the White Mountain Knives exclusive, all stonewashed. Flipper only, but don't worry, you can reverse flake the shit out of it. So this has a milled pocket clip. This is a more standard milled pocket clip, not using the wire clip setup. Whoa. And that has a little pin. See a little pin in the hole? That is what we will add to this to stabilize it. So, a couple of minor updates to the clip. Love this, by the way. Coming soon, early October, we hope. I'll do a video on that soon, don't worry. All right, clip comes out. Now you have to take these out. And just be mindful when you put it back together that you put the T8s in here for the inlays. Don't accidentally use a T6 from the frame screws, because I started doing that yesterday on accident. Oh, switch to T6. Yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is. And now your back spacer comes off. And you are fully disassembled. So that is how the Lush V2 comes apart. Obviously, you would also have screws for the steel insert. But that's how that works. So I'm going to take these little T6s. Probably should have paid attention. Line that up. Get that one in there. That looks like a T8. T8, T8, T8. Where are these little T6s? There we go. There's one. Line up this one. Okay. Now I have that backspacer back on. Now I can take the, oh, nope. Now I can take the inlay. So let me just make sure these are tight. Nice and tight. Take the inlay, pop that on. Go back to my T8. Woo. Drop one in there. Drop one in there. Tighten that down. Tighten that down. Perfectly flush. Amazing. Riot. Love it. Pop in your clip. Drop in your screw. You would have a little pin in there, but that should just stay attached to the clip. Shouldn't be something you have to take apart or anything. Tighten that down nicely. Check it. No tap. Everything looks good. Make sure you tighten the body screws underneath and that inlay screw to where you want it before you put the clip on or the scale on, because obviously you can't go back. I mean, you can, but you get my point. So the washers are 5mm washers. We have 5mm 1/16 bearings in here. So you can put 5mm 1/16 12 ball skiffs in this knife. Okay, so we have that side together. Now we need to assemble. So this is the D-shaped side, so it goes through this way. So this one's going to go on top. So now I need to put the pivot in here like this. Turn this to the side because that's where the D shape goes. And then check which way your bearings go. So the pocket for the bearings is mostly in the blade. So I will face the bearings out so that the ass end goes in the pocket to keep any debris and stuff out of there. Put that one on. Obviously, you want to oil it and stuff. I did that last time already. Then you want to line up that D shape like that. Push down. Now you can rotate it into place. This is how I do it. Anyway, you can do it however you like. Rotate it like that. Now, oh, almost lost the washer there, boss. All right, I'm just going to lay it on. Normally, I would oil this and do all types of shit, but I'm just trying to show you. So, get that D shape lined up again. Bring it on over. In place. Okay. Now, I would recommend you put the pivot in now to help you, so you don't have to like hold everything perfectly. So just, you don't have to tighten it all the way down, but so now I have the pivot in. Now I have a Magna blade. No, I'm just kidding. I would not shut the blade. You could, whatever you want to do, but it can move around, so potentially you could strike the backspacer, but not likely. So now I'm going to put in these frame screws. There, you can see how good those heads are. Took my bit out. Tighten that down. Tighten that down. Okay. Now, put on your inlay. So you just got to kind of do it a little bit differently than you would normally because of that internally mounted clip. So, is it a big deal? I don't think so. But I think it's worth the trade-off for the sweet-looking clip. So now I'm going to loosen the pivot again. Okay. And tighten everything again. And the centering, for some reason, is off. Feels good. I'm guessing it's how I did the washers and the bearings and stuff. I'll mess with it myself, but usually the last time I took it apart, which was yesterday, it was dead centered when I put it back together. So I must have messed something up in there. But it's simple. That's how it goes. I'll do another video when the knife releases to give you a better idea. But that's an idea of the internals. So there you go. That is the Lush V2 Riot OEM prototype. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.